for the first time on Timbers in 30, Portland Timbers head coach Giovanni Savarese. First of all, if you want to take over hosting, 12 years at ESPN, take the show over. It's all you.
No. Good to be with you guys here.
You now, of course, are the head coach for the Timbers in your first game. I know the result that you guys didn't want against LA. What did you learn from that match, and what are your thoughts on the first match for you guys this season?
Yeah, no, definitely not the result that we wanted. You know, we want to win every game. We want to try to bring points all the time, home or away. And of course, you know, it didn't go the way we expect in relations to the score. I thought we did some very good things. I know that all the things that we have to work on. But for us the first match, there were great moments in the game. One thing I think the team is fit, and that's one thing that I was very happy to see. And overall, I think there's things that we need to correct, but I think a decent start.
The anticipation on the first day of the game of the season, for you, what was it like? Some people can't wait for the match to come. For you, what was the feeling, the anticipation for that first match?
No, I got to be honest with you. It was like any other game that I have to coach. I think I've put in my mind that I have to focus on the important thing. Yeah. And maybe at the end of the season, I'll think about what I felt or what I should have felt that day. But right now, there's not a moment to think about, the fans and the environment. It's about thinking about the team and the game and try to get results.
We talk about the loss, but for you, what's important on the Monday morning, the Tuesday morning? Next time you see the team back on the training ground, what's important for you after that loss for the message or to get right with the team?
I think the good thing, first of all, is that I saw right after the match everybody that felt bad about the match. Mm-hmm. They didn't like the result. Everybody felt a sense of pride in regards to not being happy, and that's a good thing because it means that everybody cares. Everybody really is looking forward to a good season. So from that point you can build, and then of course is the thinking about what did we do well, what we had to improve, analyze the videos, talk to the guys, tell them individually what to do as a group, do video as we have done already, and continue to build. And as I said, so very good things. Of course, other things that we have to improve, but there's some new guys that played for the first time in the league that also now they understand what MLS is all about. So I think we just have to continue to work.
For you coaching for the first time in the league, did you learn anything? Maybe was there anything unexpected that caught you off guard, or what did you learn for your first time facing an MLS opponent as an MLS manager?
Nothing especially surprised me that I anticipate encounter that day. Maybe one or two things that the Galaxy did that probably, maybe we could have found a little earlier. But overall, the environment, the expectation of the match, the speed of play is pretty much what we expected. And it was more analyzing those things that we had to do a little bit better in order to improve. That was the main focus of that day.
A little more big picture. When we've been around you for a month or so now in preseason, I've been struck by your positivity and your enthusiasm, the energy that you bring every day. Why is that important to you? Why is that kind of how you like to handle yourself?
That's the way I am. Yeah. I see the positive of things. I see the negatives of things as well, but I look how to fix them and make them positive. And that's has been all my life, all the time. I feel energy, and then of course right after the match, you feel disappointment. You're a little bit down, but then right there you have to find a way to be able to bring yourself back up and be able to lead also by example. And I think when you have that positive energy and you always and the players feel that you care about them individually as a group, that you have high hopes and you do it in a way that everybody's important, I think that definitely everybody feels the same way, and they can give you a lot more.
Overall, your thoughts around the league with the games that were played in the first week, some surprises, I'm sure, others that you expected, but your overall impressions now that the league has got going?
Yeah, some surprises, I think, for a lot of people during the weekend, no? But I'm no surprise with Houston. I think they had a very good preseason. They have a good coach. Surprising a little bit, maybe, you know, that it was against Atlanta. So some interesting situations, you know, in the league all across. But we know MLS, you know, is weekend after weekend. You cannot be surprised in relations to results, because I think anybody can beat anybody at any given time. So that's Major League Soccer.
It's funny how the schedule works out. This is just your second match, and it's against the organization that you came into the league with. They were known as the Metro Stars back in 1996, but you scored the first 8 goals in the history of this team, the New York Red Bulls. Obviously, your roots so strong in New York, both with the Metro Stars, the Cosmos, college, all that time you spent there. You just said earlier that, you're talking about your first ever match in MLS, that you felt like it was like a normal game, right? And you'll look back at what you thought you should have felt. Well, how do you handle this, going back to New York, going back to where you started?
Definitely there's a level of excitement, the way I had it for being the first match that I coached in Major League Soccer. But I'm living it again with a lot of balance. Actually, I'm content because I know the stadium, I know the surroundings, I know you know, where to go to the locker room. So I know, you know, myself around the stadium, and that's a good thing, going there. And for me, that's important, because you know, I know what to expect all around. And of course, you know, I know there's going to be a lot of support from many people that are going to come and support us, being there, New Yorkers. So I'm excited about going back home, but I'm leaving it with a lot of balance. Focus on the most important part, that is try to make sure that our team perform the best way to bring points back to Portland.